What's your thoughts on the portal though? Like just way too early thoughts because it's only been officially two days now, I guess, or 3 days.
College football free agency. I mean, that's what it is. It's a lot of guys that are starting at successful programs at whatever they're at their position and are jumping in the portal to see what they can get. And all power to them.
Yeah.
I'm not hating the player. I'm hating the game for sure because it's just mind blowing to me to see starters at positions at really good programs that are competing for conference titles for playoff spots. They're jumping ship, thinking they can get a better situation. Still yet to see even some guys that have changed places. I'm not totally sure that they're in a better situation than the one they left. So, like I said, it's only been 2 days. It's still very early. There's still a lot has changed just today,
Yeah.
just in the last 2 hours. So everything is fluid.
Yeah, that's the best way to describe it, I think. I was talking with someone about 2 hours ago about this, and I was like, the thing, especially when you try to plan content around it, like you and I were talking last night, we'll dive into kind of maybe, later what Auburn's has, but you kind of have to like set some guidelines for yourself. It's like, okay, we know visits are going to happen then. Now, the thing is now, is a visit going to happen and immediately change someone's mind? Or is it going to be a situation where, in just all honesty, is it going to be a situation where they're going to take 3 or 4 visits, and then maybe they sit on that for a little bit, and they like to take the whole time? Because for a reminder for people, the portal window is open, but as long as your name is in the portal, it doesn't mean that the portal then closes. Like, and you don't be on a team. You just have to enter your name into the portal during that time frame, and then obviously, I mean, with the season extending until January the 20th, I mean, it's crazy. But I wanted to ask you this before we kind of dive into the Bill Belichick and the UNC stuff. The big story right now in the portal, it kind of feels like, is Darian Mensah. And that's a guy where, a lot of media down here have covered him. And I was talking with someone today. It was like, it's more of a shock because when you go through the timeline of what Tulane did, okay, so they play the conference title game. I don't want to say Tulane had a bad season. They didn't end the way they wanted to. Kind of the bad loss to Memphis, and then really kind of getting, for lack of better words, kind of punked, up against Army and just physically dominated. But they have the team meeting. There's questions: is Sumrall, and it's kind of parlays into what we're going to talk about. Is Sumrall going to be the go-to option for UNC? A lot of people felt like, hey, that's their number one guy they want to go after. It doesn't end up happening. Sumrall kind of makes this public declaration on social media that he's coming back, and I love when it's like, I'm not leaving. He tweets that out, and then he interviews you, and I kind of talked about that. I don't want to say touchy, like pseudo press conference he did. But then they have the team meeting, and Darian Mensah, the star quarterback for the team that, by the way, beat out a former 5-star to get that job, 4 or 5-star, says, I'm leaving. And by the way, within 4 days, he's already at a home Duke basketball game, already got the pictures taken, and he's already committed. So I know that's a long way of saying, like, that's kind of the big story. It does show that these agents are kind of playing it like free agency, and they're listening to teams where the player officially cannot. I don't know how you create rules for when agents are involved. It feels like it really opens up to true free agency.
Yeah, I mean, and he was the guy I was hinting at. Is Duke really a better spot than Tulane?
They play next fall, which is going to be fun.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that. But you think about the ACC, you saw how hard it is to win that conference, and if Tulane finishes strong, they probably win the American, and they're possibly looking at an at-large bid for the playoff. With the way everything shook out, I think they would have just missed out. But it would be hard to deny a 13-0 team, no matter what conference they were in. But just seeing how competitive the ACC was and how hard it was to win, is it really a better situation? Is the roster around him really going to be better? It's hard to say. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see if he was kind of the catalyst for more guys to leave Tulane, and more guys to head to Duke. Very well could be. But it was that one. That one was the big shock. And he goes, it would have made sense to go to maybe an SEC or a Big Ten school, maybe even a Big 12 school.
Yeah.
But to go to Duke, I think was the real surprise. I mean, Duke had a great season. They went 9-3, and And like I said, a really good conference. The ACC still a power conference as of now, still a power conference. I got to poke. I got
Oh,
to
yeah.
poke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Herb's not here to stick up for him. But
Hey, if you don't
story
know about Herb, check him out.
credit.
If
We need
you want a Florida State podcast, check out Herb.
check out Herb. You touched on this, and we could go super far into this kind of thing, but
I think
it's
Herb
a
does
weird
all
year
the
for Duke,
ACC,
right? Like,
actually.
what'd you say?
I said I think Herb does all the ACC. Just the last one that I came across on his YouTube channel was about Florida State.
Yeah, Herb FM. Duke, in all seriousness, it's a weird year. Like, they go 9-3 in a big transition year. Very good record. They're going to play in a solid bowl game, but I think they're playing Ole Miss in the Gator Bowl. Is that what they're playing? Or one of the Florida bowls they're playing down there, I
playing
believe.
Ole Miss.
Yeah. So Duke has a crazy season. Their starting quarterback, who wasn't electric, but he wasn't bad, Malik Murphy, enters the portal, and then they go get probably, maybe the best. No, I could be slipping. I could be not thinking we're live here. Best G5 quarterback this year? I don't know. I'm trying to.
I would agree. I would go a step further and say he was the best quarterback in the portal. So I think Duke made an upgrade here at quarterback, and that's no disrespect to Malik Murphy, because Malik Murphy was very good for them. He's in the portal now as well. Got some visits lined up already.
Yeah,
got to see where he lands. But I had Mensah as number one.
He's good, man.
Based off what he showed at Tulane. And
Gavin says Bryson Daly's better than Mensah.
You're exactly right, Gavin.
It is.